This video is going to talk about the single whip very briefly, but it's going to be more about the transitions between the left grasp the bird's tail and then turning that 180 degrees to 6 o'clock for the right grasp the bird's tail. Don't forget this is a short form, and then doing the same turn the opposite way around into the single whip, because I know a few people are having problems with that particular transition. So if you haven't done the grasp the bird's tail, you'll need to go back to the grasp the bird's tail video, because I'm not going to go over the movement in this particular video. I'm only doing the transition. So you are in a left bow stance and you finished your push movement. Move the weight back. Remember that as you move the weight back, you're trying to move as much as possible onto this back leg so that you haven't got friction making your foot stick to the floor, and you've got lots of turning room. So if you watch my foot, I can turn all the way around. If I leave some of my weight forward, it's a lot more difficult to turn that foot, and you can try that yourself and see the difference. Also, when you move the weight back, you're having that slight hinge at the hips, sitting into the back leg, making sure knee is following toe, rather than look at the difference. If I keep my shoulders up, my head is going back, and I can actually feel that my weight is going backwards, and I did actually nearly fall over then. There's a lot of difference between this position and this position. The weight is now sunk downwards, and I feel very stable. I could do anything in this position. So from the push, moving the weight back, allowing the hands to go from energy point there, push, dropping down. This could be a deflect downwards onto somebody's arm. This could be a grab onto somebody's arm. So just always thinking about what it could be, what the movement actually means. So moving the weight back, drop those down a little bit. Now ignore the hands just for the moment. We're going to think about the feet and the waist. So the movement begins in the feet, works up the legs, is controlled by the waist, comes out of the hands. So we want to have a slight pull on this movement here on the waist. See my right waist pulling back. This also moves the shoulders, which when you're in this position will separate your hands slightly. Doesn't have to be a very big movement, could be a tiny movement. So go back to the forward position, ignore the hands, move the weight back, try and isolate the legs and the waist a little bit, but still allowing the movement to come up into the shoulders. You're just doing this very small movement. And then continue that movement, and you'll find that then it starts pulling that foot around. Allow the shoulders to follow. So you end up in this position, making sure knees are nice and bent. You end up in this pigeon-toed stance. And then you'll bring the right foot back. So it doesn't matter how far you manage to get around. You want to try and get probably to 3 o'clock at least as you're turning. So you want your foot to go from this direction to this direction. And if you've got a lot of flexibility in your ankles and your hips, you might be able to get your foot to point that direction, which means it's already in the correct position for the back foot, which as it will become, of your right grasp the bird's tail to 6 o'clock. So at the moment, this is 12 this way. This is my 3 o'clock towards you. 6 o'clock is that way towards the white light, and towards the picture on the wall is my 9 o'clock. So now including the hands, moving that weight back, drop the hands, trying to feel this movement in the waist. You see that right hand pull back. Extend that movement so you carry on pulling round. So you're now solidly on your right leg. And turn. Allow this circle to keep going all the way around. The weight is still on your right foot. Now eventually you're going to get to a point where you can't actually move any further. Your waist won't go any further. You can't move your feet. The weight is all on the right. To be able to make any further movement, you either need to go back, which isn't going to happen, or you need to move the weight into the left. So you end up with this movement. And as you do this, the coordination here is the right hand comes in, right foot comes in. And you're holding the ball. So you end up from here to here. And this is the bit that a lot of people aren't picking up. This is the bit that everyone needs to practice. So you've got a circle or a semicircle going from here. So you've got push, straight hand, energy point, palm. Move the weight back. The energy point goes downwards. Pull from the waist. Allow the shoulders to come around. Circle. Turning the foot. When you can't go any further, moving that weight. Hand under the ball. This is a really important part of the movement. It aligns your center and brings you back to almost like you're at the beginning of the form, except you're going to move out with your right foot, not your left. Then you're stepping back, got your ball, and you're moving into your pung movement, ward off, this movement. And before you finish that movement, you need to turn this back foot unless you've managed already to turn it enough. Most people probably won't. So as you're moving forward, lift that toe. So you see I haven't quite finished this ward off movement, but my toes are lifting as part of the movement, ready to turn and complete. So try and make this back foot turn part of the movement, not an afterthought. So what I see is in a lot of classes at the moment, and this is just because you need to get the muscle memory. I'm trying to do it, I've got to do it wrong now. You'll do this, and then afterthought, my foot doesn't feel right, my body doesn't feel right. I'll just bring that round. Sometimes people are well into this bit, into the loo movement, before they remember to bring the back foot round, or I go back feet and everyone turns back feet. So try and make this part of the movement. Coordination. Pull, move back, pull. This movement. Try and get this first. Then get continuation of that pull. This movement. Make a circle. Rotate on your heel. Try and have a smooth movement, moving the weight into the right foot, back to the left. This isn't part of, obviously, the full transition, but it can help with the coordination of turning the body and the foot. So now as it comes around turning, plant that foot down now, and you have this movement, forward and back. And then you can have foot in, hand under the ball. Foot in, hand under the ball. Try and make it a circle if you like. Circle into the right foot, under the ball. So all these little coordination exercises will help you learn that transition. Then from here, ward off, turn back foot. Do it really slowly. Weight on the right foot, change to the left, but try and transfer that weight to turn the back foot before finishing that movement. Feel the waist come around with that turn of the back foot. There. So that's the transition from the left to the right. Grasp the bird's tail. Now you're going to do the same in the opposite direction for your transition from your right grasp the bird's tail into your single whip. So now you're here. You've got the same push at the end, right bow stance, energy point palm, forwards. You're moving the weight back, drop the hand. Energy down. So you can continue. Again, this is another kind of coordination exercise that you can add in. This happens quite a lot in the form as well. Maybe even lift the toe up with it and move the weight fully back, hinge at the hips. Then you've got this hip pull again, the other way. Pull the waist. Pull the waist, see the hands move. Pull the waist more, bring the foot around. Pull the waist, bring foot. Turn, waist and body. And you've got this same movement here. Except this time, what you're going to end up with, instead of bringing that hand under for a ball, you're going to bring the hands to the chest. The weight is going to be off of that left foot and you end up in this push down position, left foot on the toes. So for anyone that comes for the February the 7th application seminar, you'll see why and what this means from here. So, push, move weight back, pull from the waist, move weight back. This coordination position is quite an important one. You need to try and end up after this circle. You need to end up here. Again, this is for your balance and your centre and the ability to do that single whip really well. So within the movement, although you do have this coordination point here, this is obviously carrying on, pushing to the back. The weight is on the right foot is full, left is empty, and you end up in this ward off position. And as you step, you're almost doing a ward off deflect with this left hand before rotating. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see. I'm not worried about the feet just at the moment, or the other hand. I want you to see this rotation, push. There. So if I go back just a little bit more, again, obviously you can't see everything. Ward off, rotate. So this is coming from the feet and waist, push. So the hand stays, the right hand stays to the back corner, in line with the shoulder. Then you'll have your ward off, and your coordination for this is toes down, so your weight slightly forward, and then push for that movement into the shoulder or the neck of your opponent. So ward off position, toes down, deflect, push, rest of the weight forward. You'll see that the ward off position does come up quite a lot through the form. So here, move the weight back, energy point down, pull from the waist, pull and turn, move the weight back, coordination point, carry on pushing back, make your hook, step across, rotate this whole forearm, not just the wrist, it's not a flick of the wrist, it's a whole forearm rotation, which helps the shoulder stay down. Step, deflect, toes go down, push, turn back foot. Now some people in the single whip position don't turn the back foot, and that's in all Tai Chi, because quite often you're going to come back round and do cloud hands anyway. This back foot is quite often left here, but for the purpose of doing Tai Chi for health purposes, I would always say make sure you're in the habit of bringing that back foot around so that your knees and toes are in alignment and your knees are nice and safe. So that's the transitions forward and back for grasser bird's tail. This, with a few little coordination exercises in there for you as well. And then from the right, grasser bird's tail. Just going to move forward a little bit. Hinge at the hips, pull the waist, turn into your single whip, coordination point, hook, ward off, deflect, push. And this is your hook hand with all fingers touching thumb if possible. So that's that for that video. I will work more on the single whip, cloud hand single whip coordination in the next video. If you've got any questions or movements that you want me to cover, transitions, especially if it's a video that I've already done, but I haven't included something that you're missing or not understanding, or you've got a question, just leave a message in the comments, because I do read all the comments and I will try to make a video on it. Bear in mind this video wasn't so much to show the single whip per se, but more to show the transition, that 180-degree transition, because it does come up quite a bit, and it will come up when we get to doing long form as well. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.